Okay, big three of Class 1A, I see you. Yo, it looks like this internship stuff with Endeavor is really paying off. What's up, it's Truth Hero, and welcome back to yet another My Hero Academia chapter review. So Boku no Hero Academia chapter 251 on the manga. What an epic chapter. We're going to go over the battle between our interns and the villain ending, explore why Shoto, Deku, and Bakugo really woke up their powers and put what they learned under Endeavor in this internship to the test. We'll also detail why Endeavor hesitated. Let's dive in. The chapter pretty much picks up where we left off. It starts with a taunt from Ending saying, "Heroes never kill, but you killed a Nomu, and I'm just like one of those lifeless dolls. So fire away, Endeavor, hit me with that flame." I really love the direction that Horikoshi went with heroes in this chapter. It's a subtle yet very important one. In this situation, our heroes would be totally justified in ending the villain ending. But the way this is presented, and especially with what Deku says at the end of this chapter, it shows heroes more as people who can save anyone, no matter what. Even the villains. And this could become very important in future chapters, especially for Endeavor's character. If he's going to bring Toyo Todoroki home, he might have to save Dabi from himself. Yes, saving Dabi will be considerably harder since he doesn't want to die and instead has evil intentions and probably wants revenge against Endeavor. But understanding that no one is ever too far gone to be saved, no one is ever past redemption, is the first step on the path to Dabi coming home and Endeavor gaining forgiveness as well. So our three eager heroes rush out of the car and that sassy chauffeur throws them their costume suitcases. Time to take that experience at Endeavor's agency and put it to the test. As Ending realizes that these interns are actually coming after him, there's this moment where he's off balance and he's falling back and he's actually propping himself up with the lane lines from the road. Also, I think we can confirm right now that his ability is to freely manipulate paint and that he prefers things in straight lines or road symbols. Endeavor thinks to himself, "Here's my chance, I will be faster than his paint attacks now." He looks up and he sees his son Natsuo, terrified, completely helpless, and even though he can't talk, he's begging for a hero. Save me. Anyone. And Endeavor, being the surefire hero that he is, hesitates. What? Oh boy, do we have a lot to talk about here. Now, I understand that there are reasons why Endeavor didn't engage, like the plot, so we could see the big three of Class 1A show up. Whatever. Fine. I accept it. But besides this, how could Endeavor hesitate here? He's this logical, surefire hero who always gets the job done. This is partly the reason why he's such a bad father, because he's always so logical and goal-oriented that he never considers his family's emotions. So, how could he drop the ball here? You're telling me you're the #1 hero and you don't do anything in this battle? Simply looking up and seeing his son Natsuo must have really gotten to Endeavor. Just the emotion of having someone you know and love in danger froze him in his tracks. Also, Endeavor is trying to redeem himself. This would have been a great opportunity to do that, but his emotions were just too strong. Now there is the possibility that Endeavor was simply left in the dust by the newfound speed of Shoto, Bakugo, and Deku, which we'll discuss in a bit later. But I don't think that's really it. The way Endeavor and Natsuo's eyes meet in this panel tells me that Endeavor simply hesitated because the emotion of having his son's life on the line was too great for him to handle. And I understand this, I'm not going to blame him for it, it's a horrible situation, but not a good look for being a hero. We then transition and have the big three of Class 1A showing up. Let's get it. I love this manga panel where they're all passing Endeavor on their way to save Natsuo. You have Shoto skating on his ice. You have Bakugo propelling himself with his explosions through the air. And then you have Deku just in third place running with one for all. Come on, Deku, you're supposed to be the greatest hero. You look like you're jogging out there. Pick up the pace. Just as I predicted, the villain ending only took Natsuo hostage so that Endeavor would take him seriously and maybe provoke emotions out of him so that he'd kill him quickly. Well, too bad, because this plan backfired horribly. Not only does Endeavor or any of the interns not plan on extinguishing his life, but also Endeavor didn't even move. What follows is each member of the big three of Class 1A either unlocking their power or going beyond it to save the day. Let's start with Shoto. Shoto came to Endeavor's hero agency to really accomplish one thing, learning how to use the move Flash Fire. His plan was to use Endeavor for his wealth of hero knowledge and combat technique to achieve this. As Shoto rushes to save Natsuo, he builds up power and focuses it into a single point of pure fiery energy and releases it as a blast. Not only is this move amazing in combat as seen in the end of the chapter, which shows a streamlined jet of fire similar to when Endeavor fought High End, but it also acts as a great barrier of heat which makes Ending's attacks useless. Now we can't say for sure that this is indeed flash fire, but I think given the fact that Deku and Bakugo also unlock their powers, or more specifically, focused on doing two things at once subconsciously to up their quirk game, I think it's a pretty good guess. Also, kudos to Shoto, man, a Todoroki who's not paralyzed in the face of danger when his family member's life is on the line. Although, later Dabi might actually laugh at that statement, but regardless, I think it's great that Shoto is fighting this villain Ending on his brother Natsuo's behalf. Next up is Bakugo, and really, I can't think of a better role for him to play here than being the one to save Natsuo. We're so used to seeing him engage in combat and really just focusing on fighting the villain, so it's really great to see this heroic rescue side of him on display. Also, I love his sass. He's like, the death toll ain't going anywhere. I got this. Bakugo's real challenge going into this internship was to focus on what he couldn't do. It wasn't power, but rather speed, especially in the wintertime when he must warm up first. He, like the others, focuses and concentrates his power into a single point, and in almost a reverse AP shot, launches himself at blazing speeds to save Natsuo. Bakugo's finally on his way to becoming faster than Endeavor. Also, when he does save Natsuo, Endeavor immediately hugs Natsuo and Bakugo's still trapped in this hug. Get off me, teacher! Also, Endeavor, from what we saw, Shoto's still fighting the villain. This fight isn't over, so you want to get in there? Like, maybe sometime this year? Any day, dude. Finally, we have Deku, who perhaps has the hardest challenge of all, which is mastering Black Whip, a quirk from the very start that has always been hard to tame and control. He first uses Air Force to launch himself high up in the sky, then builds off that burst of energy with Black Whip, catching every single car Spider-Man style and doing his part to not let the death toll even gain 1 point. I think it's pretty cool that Deku did exactly what Endeavor told him to do, and he succeeded in this way. Endeavor said, don't focus on Black Whip, only focus on mastering Air Force, and because Deku only focused on using this move, he understood how these two quirks can be used together. Also, by the way, this is gonna look amazing when it's finally animated. You got Shoto with Flash Fire, you got Bakugo saving Natsuo, and Deku gets a dang superhero landing.
Superhero landing. She gonna do a superhero landing. Wait for it! Woo!
Finally, I love this line here that Deku says at the end. We will not grant your wishes. This is so great and perfect because it really captures his and probably Bakugo and Shoto's philosophy on being a hero. Them simply keeping Ending alive is probably torturing this villain, and he's going to face justice which will only make him madder. But they really believe that no one is beyond saving, and in the eyes of Deku, this villain Ending, yes, he's done some horrible things, but he needs to be saved, and saved from himself. A life saved by growth. Endeavor has certainly grown and changed as a person since we first met him, in regretting what he did to his family, and then seeking their forgiveness. Perhaps Dabi or Toya Todoroki's life can be saved in the future if Endeavor continues down this path of personal development. Or maybe if Dabi grows and has a change of heart as the tragic villain and broken man that he is. Since Toya Todoroki's story got revealed a little more in previous chapters, we've been discussing the idea of Endeavor trying to bring Dabi and Toya Todoroki home. In order to do this, you have to be willing to save someone who is evil. Endeavor may have done some bad things in the past, no denying it, but I don't believe that he's evil. Dabi, on the other hand, is. He's murdered people in cold blood. The whole point of these 2, maybe 3 chapters, as this battle isn't quite over yet, is yes, to showcase what Bakugo, Deku, and Shoto learned under Endeavor, but it's also to present one simple, yet very hard to answer question. Does everyone deserve salvation? If a villain such as Ending, who takes someone hostage, who has reckless disregard for human lives, and who wants to be killed by pro-heroes for who knows what motives, can be saved, or can be viewed by the heroes as someone that they want to keep alive, then the same can be said about Dabi. I think people are so in love with the idea of little Toya, this child who is lost and became the villain of Dabi, and they have this romantic view of him as a tragic villain that they often forget Dabi's crimes. We saw this a bit with Shigaraki when we learned more about his backstory. Everyone felt a little sympathy down in their hearts for that little kid, and we even discussed the possibility that Shigaraki would get redemption. I think Horikoshi is really leading us to believe in the idea of salvation for everyone, and that everyone deserves a shot at redemption. I'm not saying that they can then become heroes or great upstanding citizens, but every single person deserves at least a chance to right their wrongs. If this is true, if you can save Dabi, if you can make the case for Shigaraki's redemption, then you can certainly grant Endeavor the chance of forgiveness and his redemption. But what do you guys think? Is this villain ending setting up this question of salvation and redemption? Did Shoto truly master or learn Flash Fire? And now that Natsuo is safe, how will he view his father Endeavor, who, remember, hesitated here? Leave your thoughts and theories down below in the comments. Before I go, I just want to say that I'm actually looking for artists to design an original font for me, so if you have chops in creating letters and making them look pretty, slide into my DMs on Insta or Twitter and I'll give you all the details. Thanks for watching. If you like this My Hero Academia chapter review and My Hero Academia theories and content, consider enrolling at UA today by subscribing. And until next time, speak the truth.